What is queer food? This is a question that's coming up a lot lately. And when I'm asked this question, what I always say is, I'm not interested in making a definition of queer food, but a recognition. So to understand that queer food has always been, right? That queer people have always been cooking, they have always been eating, they have always been part of the food landscape. And so to acknowledge that is really to show us a new way of thinking about food. Now, I teach about food and gender, and I write about food and gender. And when I'm doing that, and I guess why I'm doing that, is because the way that we think about food, preparation, provisioning, all tends to get entangled with gender norms. So even the idea that there's a mom's home cooking, right, really leaves out any household where there isn't a mom, right? And it also sort of creates the person who is doing the cooking in this particular mold, right? The mom persona. And we know that if we talk to people, we find that there's a whole range of people doing home cooking. And so to acknowledge that, to recognize the range of people who are involved in food, is what thinking about queer food can do for us. As I teach food studies classes, as I talk with our amazing food studies students here and our faculty, we all find that questioning the assumptions about gender and food really help us to see a wider world of food. So thinking about, just things that might seem silly at first, which is like, what would you eat on a first date, right? We talk about those kinds of things. How is your food choice sort of representing your gender identity? How is that different if you're gay? How is that different if you're non-binary? How is that different if you're polyamorous, right? We really feel that talking about queer food is a way to disrupt kind of ideas about food that really obscure human experience. And that is what we do in food studies, right? We use food to understand the bigger picture of human experience, right? You can look at food and see so many things more than just the food. Oh, this wonderful book that I love that we have in our cookbook collection. You look at this book and you see this great thing is called the Savage Sausage Salad. And we don't even need to read the recipe to understand that someone is having fun with food. We can understand the humor of the era when this book was written. We can understand what made people laugh, what they took seriously, what was available to them in the marketplace, what was available to them as ideas of what they should look like, right? Or how they should behave, and how they challenge those ideas.